Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to 4x8 Paper Stuff. This is Beth. We are in day 8 of the Start with the Mark challenge that Concy from Atop Serenity Hill does. And I've taken classes from her and really like her vibe. Okay, we are already starting this somewhere on step 2 or 3 maybe of 17 because somewhere the footage, I did not mess this up this time. The camera ate my footage. I'm sure it was, or the dog. Anyhow, the prompt is with a feather or something like that. I don't have any feathers. So we're going with Jonathan Livingston Seagull's lyrics, which is what that was. And I wrote them across the whole entire page because I had already torn this page out of my huge, gigantic sketchbook that I just got. And it's an amoeba. And I love these amoeba shapes. So we're going with another one. And we're going to use seagull colors or bird colors or feather colors and see what that brings to us. Still kind of out of sorts. There was a lady here a little while ago and she goes, "Your aura is all messed up. Do you feel all right?" I'm like, "What?" Now, granted, we've had this tragedy with a friend of ours, and it's not a death. It's just something I can't talk about, and we're calling it tragic because it's life-shattering for lots of people. And I could not tell her that because she's involved with some of those people, or she is around some of those people. And I'm like, "My aura's messed up?" She goes, "You need to sit somewhere quietly." I'm like, "Well, I have my art and I have my sewing because I've been working on a quilt." And she goes, "No, no, no, no." She goes, "You need to sit in a dark room and just meditate sort of for a while." I'm like, "Who has time for that?" And she said, "No, you need to do something like that." She goes, "You can read a book." I'm like, "Well, the only book I have right now is a murder mystery. Is that okay?" She goes, "No, you need to read poetry." I'm like, "Okay, so I'll read Jonathan Livingston Seagull." Anyhow, I was really freaked out by that. But she was right. Okay, so here's where I talk about finding this calendar
from the Nature Conservatory.
And some of the stuff I was cleaning up this morning in this
It has
room.
birds in it.
And it's from the Nature Conservatory, and I have 2 of them, and there's a picture of a bird.
Yosemite National Park,
Yosemite. My sister called me this morning. She lives like an hour and a half west of Yosemite.
Okay, let's cut out one of these.
That latitude. And they had tornado warnings overnight. Those parts of the Central Valley of California do not have those kind of weather patterns, but they are right now with all this rain and flooding that's going on over there. It's crazy.
Which I don't mind.
Anyhow, here's this little bird, and I'm going to cut out some feathers. And I started to talk this to you through this, but I'm very disjointed. Maybe my aura is all messed up. I don't know. But, I live disjointed a lot of the times.
In 2007. Would you
my personality is disjointed. I'm a squirrel. I flip from here to there to here to there. Anyhow, so we cut out some feathers. That's what we're doing now off camera. Or out of shot, or whatever the term is. Anyhow, so I have come up with this amoeba shape, and I'm adding bird colors to it, and now I have feathers cut out.
Actually, he was
so I decided maybe I could incorporate these feathers and or
animals and
make a mark with these feathers and use them as a paintbrush, but they were a little bit too flimsy, even though it's thicker paper because it's a calendar. They still wouldn't work, so I tried.
There used to be a family that
so we have bird lyrics, and we have bird feathers.
Had little kids.
We just don't have any marks from
they got a dog, and the dog used to meet them at the school bus.
And the parts of December that we were here,
next door thought that was
there was a feather in our driveway, and I kept saying, "Where did that feather come from?"
She took him home one day and never brought him back.
And of course now it's gone.
People,
but anyhow, it was a blue jay
at
feather.
that time, especially we were on a street with no traffic.
It's a gorgeous day here.
Okay, here's 3 feathers. Gorgeous. I'm not sure how I'm going to use those.
Sparkling,
and they don't even look like feathers, but that's okay.
The temperatures are in the 50s, which is normal for our time of year
here. A feather. Here we go.
See, here's where I tried to do dashes with
if I put them all 3 together.
The paint, but it really wasn't working.
And I could still use them.
I tried.
Actually, this should be the last step.
Then I thought, well, maybe those need to be added at the end. I found this really cool abstract artist on YouTube. This is what you do when you don't sleep in the middle of the night. He's Spanish, living in Paris or something like that. And he's got a really, I don't know what his name is. It's some foreign name. I know that narrows it down. And I don't even listen to the volume. I turn it on silent. And speed it up, but it's beautiful abstracts. Really, he calls them industrial. I'm like, oh. So I was trying to mimic some of that, or had some of that in my aura going on. I don't know. forgive me, my aura is all messed up. Even the lady that was here this morning could tell. Oh, and then we had the air conditioner people here. I mean, and of course they try to upsell you something every time they come. Every single time. Even with my husband. Anyhow, they come twice a year to check the unit. I'm like, okay, how is there? It's miraculously fine until y'all pull in the driveway and then there's a part going bad. Always. We even changed companies for a while because of this, but they're back and ugh. Anyhow, so this is the back of my amoeba. And I'm having fun just working with these beautiful colors and a little bit out of my comfort zone, admittedly. But then I was worried that I was going to get that paint everywhere. So, and I did like the way the words looked. They were too neat, even though it's written very sloppily. So I went over it with 2 different types. I went over it with a pencil and I think a gray marker also. Then I tried to write it upside down. So it really, I wasn't, even though it was very sloppy, I wasn't like forming my own letters that I normally write. I don't know. So I did use a gray marker too and tried to go over that and just kind of push that to the background. Because right now it seems like it's like too, prominent into the focal point. Anyhow, art terms, people. So I know some of them. Anyhow, so I took that paint and got into that big sketchbook and just kind of swiped it like Tim Holtz does. And oh my gosh, the beginnings of something else. I need to do this more often. Just make tons of swiping. And I'm trying to preserve the yellow mustardy color because I might use that at the end. I don't know. So then I started scraping it on here. Oh man. It's the beginnings of something. And then I scraped off, I think it was the yellow at the end, and I took a picture of it and stick it at the end here. Anyhow, now I know that I won't get paint all over my book. Gunner, be quiet. So there's my amoeba shape, and I'm going to glue it down, but I realize that the inside circles don't have like an edge to them, like the black I put around the edge of the whole unit. So I went in and tried to add shading, but it doesn't look like shading when I'm done. But I'm not hating how it turned out. Gunner, I'm not hating how it turned out. But I do like, sorry for the dog. He thinks he hears spaceships landing on the moon. He can hear everything I'm telling you. So anyhow, you know what I should have done? I should have sprinkled those colors. So then I was trying to paint with those pieces of feathers too. So I just decided to go with my round brush, which I'm pretending are feathers, and kind of just swish it across and make those words disappear even farther. And I have dirty water, so that's actually helping me in my favor. And then I kind of put corners on the edges here of everything with that yellow. It's really something I don't hate. I really don't hate this. This is where I should have put a lot more water and kind of just did circles. This is where I was trying to back the edges off, give the edges a darker tone. And that was way too much there. But the way it ended up, I just did it with my finger, I think. Yeah, I did. Anyhow, I really, really like this. Totally, believe it or not, different from me because it's the trash people. Okay. More people in the driveway. Anyhow, fun. This is what, and then I did include the feathers. I put them in the center there. And they don't even look like feathers by the time you cut them away from the bird. There's some poor bird in Yosemite running around without 3 of its feathers. But it really, these exercises are great to make your totally get out of your comfort zone. And I love this. And I kind of just went over it with my camera. Really love how this turned out. It's very industrial looking, actually. I must have been, even though my aura's off, I had the vibe from that other guy. But loving it. And then this is the picture of my sketchbook. It's got some blue, some black, and that yellow. Love it. The beginnings of tomorrow, maybe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.